Good evening, everybody. This is Sweat, and yes, I am officially sick as a dog. But for whatever reason, I'm actually in a pretty good mood today, even though I kind of feel like crap, and I'm sure I sound amazing. But I'm actually in a pretty good mood today, and it is Monday, so it's time for another Military Monday. And let's get right to your questions, guys, because I'm not sure how much capture video I have for this week's episode. So, getting right into it. This is from a gentleman named Wicked Shrapnel. He says, I'm 34. Are you sure it's not too late for me to join JROTC? Wicked, hate to break it to you, buddy. 34, which means you've probably already graduated high school. I think it is too late. I think it is too late for you. Now, ROTC is another question. You can get waivers for anything in the military, including age. But of course, yes, I do know who Wicked Shrapnel is, guys. Wicked has been instrumental in me starting my YouTube channel, and I'm really appreciative of him still stopping into my videos. So thank you, Jason, for that. But the next question is, can you sign up for the USMC if you are not from USA, if you're not from the United States of America? And the reason I picked this question is because at my very first duty station in Iwakuni, Japan, I had a young man that was from Colombia, as he used to say. He was from Colombia in South America. And I'm not going to say his name just because I don't want the off chance of someone knowing him or something like that, or harassing him or anything like that. But anyway, this young man was again from Colombia, and he did join the United States Marine Corps, and he was not a United States citizen. I remember we would. I've told you guys before, I was a firefighter in the United States Marine Corps, and spent a lot of hours in fire trucks at airfields, waiting and overseeing the airfield for safety. And jet crashes and such, and there's a lot of dead time there, and we would help him study for the test to get his citizenship, his American citizenship. And for those of you who don't know, it is incredibly difficult to get citizenship to the United States because you have to take tests that I'm 90% sure that based on the questions that we were going over, a lot of people don't know it, including myself. There were questions about the United States history, and it's kind of sad, but there's stuff that that was just not covered in high school and grade school and all that kind of stuff. And so it's a pretty extensive program in order to get citizenship into the United States. But to answer the question, yes, you can sign up for the United States Marine Corps. Now, I'm not sure how. Of course, you'd have to go to a recruiter, maybe do some online research in order to figure out how to do that, exactly how to go about that. But yes, you can sign up for Marine Corps if you're not from the United States of America, and you can ultimately get your citizenship through that process. So I hope that answered your question, and thank you for asking. The next question is, hey, Sweat, I'm nearsighted. When I get my BCGs, do I get them upon arrival of boot camp, or do they do an eye test from there and later hand it out? I'm pretty sure you get them in the first week or so. I'll be honest with you, this was all the way back in October of 2003. It's almost 10 years ago, so I don't quite remember exactly the timetable around it, but I picked this question because a lot of people may not know what BCGs are. Those are the nickname for birth control glasses, is what it stands for the giant glasses that you get when you're in boot camp. Everyone's the same, and you get these big, huge frame glasses. You've probably seen them in pictures, and it looks like it's something back from the World War II or Vietnam era, something like that. They still use the same design glasses. You still have these big, huge chunks of plastic and lens on your face, and they are definitely not attractive or stylish at all. And combined, of course, with your bald head and all that, it definitely is birth control glasses, because nobody will want anything to do with you in your state, in that current state. But also a reason I picked on this, because there was a pretty funny story I haven't told about one of the obstacle courses. I don't think I've told this about boot camp, but in one of the obstacle courses, you in the Crucible, you do with your rifle, slung over your back, or you're carrying it or whatever, and one of them was scaling, I don't know, 6-10 foot wall or something like that. It was one of the ones where you run and you got the guys that are holding at the bottom, holding your feet, and you jump on their feet, and you reach, grab the top, and just flip over. And as I fell, I did it, all motivated and everything, because Crucible, even though it was tough, it still was really motivating to do some of that stuff, especially obstacle courses. You always got excited, always got motivated to do obstacle courses. So anyway, I'm running, jumping over this wall, and as I fell on the other side, my rifle caught somehow, and it hit me, being slung over my back, I believe it was, but it spun around and it hit me dead in the middle of the face. And Fortunately, my nose didn't take the brunt of that impact. It was my glasses. It was my BCGs, and it split them right down the middle. Now, this is in the Crucible. You're in the field at this point. I didn't have a spare set of BCGs. I didn't have. All we had is somebody had some tape. One of the drill instructors or something had some tape, and basically they decided to have fun with it. The drill instructors did. And they crossed that duct tape so much where all I had was these two little peepholes in my BCGs to look out of, which was absolutely hilarious when we're in formation and they're coming through and inspecting to make sure that nobody received any injuries or anything like that that would have taken them out of the Crucible and set us back. So we're all standing in formation and stuff, and here comes commanding officers. And they're sitting at me trying to keep a straight face while I'm looking at them through these peepholes, giving my report of, yes, I'm fine, blah, 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 no medical injuries to report, this, that, and the other. And I can only imagine how funny it must have been to them, because you could see them clearly struggling to maintain a straight face as they were looking at this skinny kid with busted glasses and a taped up face. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you guys because that reminded me of that story from boot camp. But the next question is, Sweat, can you please talk about the Navy Corpsmen? I plan on becoming one, hopefully, and or with some other branch. I know a lot about them. I have a lot of gear, but I really like hearing people's experiences with them, and I'd appreciate yours. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I am a bit sick. I'm trying to press on and do this, but Navy Corpsmen. I only have one instance where I remember being deployed with a Navy Corpsman. Not to say we weren't. I know, in fact, that we were deployed with Navy Corpsmen, but they didn't stick with my group, or they would just jump around and do different things. But my one experience with Navy Corpsmen was when I was deployed in South Korea, and we were on a ship. On the way back, the Navy Corpsman was a really cool dude. He's a young guy. I think he was new at it, and I remember him letting everyone start IVs on each other to practice putting in IVs. I know it sounds like a horrible practice, but he didn't make anybody. But if you wanted to, he had all his sterile gear. I mean, all this stuff. I mean, it was. I say it was safe. I know it was safe in that aspect. I know it was sterile because he made sure it was. But basically, he demonstrated how to put IVs in, how to start IVs, draw blood, and do stuff like that. And some people were really interested in it. I don't like needles. I'm not scared of needles. I do have tattoos, but I don't like needles. And I was not amongst that group that was performing surgery on each other, or that was doing blood transfusions or drawing blood or whatever. But I do remember that was my experience with the Navy Corpsmen. And I do know that they do have a close relationship with the Marines and such that they are assigned to, and I can see why, because I mean, just that guy going through or doing that just to build trust, and at the same time he really was teaching people how to do things. So yeah, that's my experience with the Navy Corpsmen. This was on a ship, and I do remember a few people got sick at the sight of it, already being on a ship, and all of a sudden there's blood. I do remember some people getting sick about it, and that is my memory, or that is my experience with Navy Corpsmen. So I hope that answers the question, or I hope that satisfies that question. And the next one is, what is your favorite pistol? And I almost feel like I'm not qualified to give this, because I don't especially have a lot of experience with pistols. I'm not a pistol guy. In fact, I've only shot a few different kinds of pistols extensively, qualified with the M9 while I was in the Marine Corps, and I own a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield, was actually my girlfriend's, but I bought it for, and I have a 1911, and I'd say that the 1911 is my favorite, and probably for all the wrong reasons. It can be a finicky platform, and I think I've said all of this before, and by finicky platform I mean you have to find the right magazines for it to load, you have to find the right ammunition to shoot, and you still have to be fundamentally sound when firing the pistol, or it's subject to jams. But it's a platform. And nobody could kill this guy. It's a platform, and it's a design that's stuck around since the early 1900s, and for good reason, because I think it's an excellent pistol, and it's a challenge for me to find all those factors, to do all that in order to have a reliable platform, and I enjoy going through that process. I'm looking into magazines right now. I'm trying to make sure I have the right ammunition and stuff right now, and to make sure my pistol functions perfectly. So even though I don't have a lot of extensive use with pistols or, a lot of experience with pistols, I would say right now 1911 is my favorite platform. Let's see, what is the next question? As I'm trying to see which gameplay I'm going to be using here. But let's go ahead and let's do one more. And I covered this just a little bit last week, but it says, what is your opinion on Bullpups? My opinion on Bullpup is mixed. I think I'm terrified knowing that the action is right next to my head. That the bullet's coming out, the bullets is going off right next to your head as you hold that stock, and everything's located in the back of that stock. And I've also never fired a Bullpup, so I may be making a mistake there by purchasing, because I do plan on purchasing a TAR 21 next year when they become available. But I think I might be making a mistake purchasing one before I fired one. But here's why. I have made mistakes before in the past with left-handed weapons and or weapons not being left-handed. My 1911 being one. I purchased 1911, and actually it is the only one of the only models in that series that does not have an ambidextrous safety. So it's something that I have to adapt to, because I don't want to return the pistol. I don't want to go buy another one just for the ambidextrous safety. So it's something I have to deal with. I've bought a left-handed bolt-action Remington Model 700 when I was in high school and spent hundreds of dollars extra just finding a left-handed model. So I do know that, even though, and I'm going way off course here, but the thing about it is the TAR 21 in particular is completely fully ambidextrous. You can buy a left-handed bolt, and it ejects shells to the left. You switch the charging handle to the left and everything. So, and that's really not even have anything to do with my opinion on bullpup weapons. My opinion is it kind of scares me, but I completely understand the logistics and everything behind it. I understand why it's becoming so popular. I understand what the attractiveness to the weapon is. You have a shorter platform with a longer barrel. I plan on getting a 20-inch barrel for mine, because it comes with like a 16-inch barrel. You're still only extending the platform 4 inches, but you already have a shorter platform to work on. The disadvantage to a bullpup, it's got to be just the psyche of knowing that there's a round going off next to your head. That still is what blows me away. That still is what the main thing I think about when I think why not shoot a bullpup. Well, that's why, because I don't know how I feel about that, and hopefully it's something that I get over really quickly if I plan on purchasing one of these. And they go on to say, on a side note, how mad did you get when you saw Black Ops 2 extended mags called extended clips? I'll leave off with this. I'm not very happy about it, and I'll say it. That's about as politely as I'll say it. That's ridiculous that a company in a weapons or firearms field, this is a game about first-person shooters. You're shooting weapons. You should probably be a little bit more educated and make a little bit smarter decisions in that aspect. And that's all I'm gonna say about it, because it's not a clip. It is a magazine. And for those of you who don't know the difference, Google it. That's all I'll say about that, because it's ridiculous. It's not a clip, it's a magazine. And a company or a production like that, like Activision, like Treyarch, should know better, and they just didn't do it. And that annoys me, because I have pet peeves. Everybody has pet peeves, random things. I don't like fat cops. Fat cops annoy me. They just annoy the shit out of me. Seeing somebody in a suit or a dress shirt and their tie coming out the back, pet peeve of mine, annoys the shit out of me. It'll be a complete stranger. I'll tuck his tie underneath his shirt. It's just a pet peeve. Calling a frigging clip, calling a magazine a clip is a pet peeve of mine. And I'm sorry. It's just one of those things, guys. Everybody's got them. If you say you don't have pet peeves, well, congratulations. You're perfect. I'm not. So, man, I get so irritated about that. I'm sorry. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. And you did, I encourage you guys, please go ahead, hit that like button for another episode of Military Monday. Check the description below for playlists of these Military Mondays and previous episodes. I get a lot of questions from you guys asking things that have already been discussed in previous episodes. And if you did make it this long and you do have another question for me for next week, go ahead, leave it in the comment section below. This is where I get the majority of these questions, is in previous videos. So thank you again for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.